Good, happy Tuesday morning is Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Tuesday morning edition of WRMK News 12. We have a lot of news to get to on this Tuesday, so let's begin right now. First step, Concord police investigating homicide after woman found dead near a campsite. The New Hampshire Attorney General's office has identified the woman found near a tent site in Concord on Friday morning as 37-year-old Jillian Collins of Concord. An autopsy determined that Collins died from a gunshot wound, and officials have ruled her death a homicide. A heavy police presence was first noticed late Friday along Manchester Road, though authorities did not initially release information about the investigation. Detectives are now working to piece together the events leading up to the shooting. Anyone with information is urged to contact Concord Police at 603-225-8600. Anonymous tips can also be submitted through the Concord Regional Crime Line by calling 603-226-3100 or visiting concordregionalcrimeline.com or texting tip 234 and a message to crimes at 274637. Additionally, 450 million allocated to WIC as shutdown persist, but advocates warn it's not enough. The federal Women, Infants, and Children Nutrition Program is set to receive an emergency infusion of 450 million as the government shutdown continues to stretch on. Officials confirmed this week. The National WIC Association described the measure as a temporary relief rather than a solution, warning that millions of families remain uncertain about how long support will last. According to the organization, the White House Office of Management and Budget has initiated the transfer of funds, and states are expected to begin receiving the additional aid within the next 48 hours. WIC provides nutritional assistance to roughly 6.7 million low-income women, infants, and young children every month, federal data shows. Program leaders emphasized that families with babies who rely on specific formulas and foods need sustainability, not short-term funding patches. Local outreach workers are urging eligible families to enroll now to ensure they can access available benefits. The Community Action Program of Belmont Merrimack counties reports increasing concern among parents, particularly due to limited formula supplies at food pantries. You can just buy a bunch of formula and have it on your shelf when you may not necessarily have the brand or type that the child needs, said Beth Hayward of CAPBM. We're just trying to prepare as best we can, but food pantries are going to struggle with that. Even with recent federally boosted Uncertainty remains about how WIC will operate if the shutdown continues or an extended period. Local organizations said they are working with community partners to secure additional baby food and infant formula should shortages worsen. Voters decide on public drinking zones in 4 New Hampshire cities. Residents in Concord, Nashua, Keene, and Portsmouth will head to the polls today to weigh in on whether social drinking districts should be permitted in their communities. The ballot measure would allow municipalities to establish designated public areas where adults could purchase and consume alcohol. Under the proposal, licensed bars and restaurants would be authorized to sell drinks in clearly labeled plastic containers of 16 ounces or less within the boundaries of the districts. Local governments would have the authority to set district rules, including operating hours in specific locations. The initiative stems from a state law passed in July, giving cities and towns the options to create such zones pending voter approval. Air travelers face growing delays as shutdown strains air traffic workforce. Frustration is rising at airports across the country as passengers deal with the mounting delays and disruptions. Air traffic controllers currently working without pay during the ongoing government shutdown are increasingly calling out sick, adding more strain to an already stretched aviation system. And that does it for this morning edition of WRMK News 12. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another broadcast. Bye, everyone.